Now question in front of us is 5 moles of an ideal gas at 100 Kelvin are allowed to undergo compression. There is a gas which is at temperature 100 Kelvin having number of moles 5 moles of gas and it goes under compression and till its temperature becomes 200 Kelvin and its temperature changes to 200 Kelvin. If Cv is 28 joules per kilo per mole and value of the R is also given, we have to find change in internal energy and work done. That means when a gas is at temperature 100 Kelvin and it goes up to temperature 200 Kelvin, we have to find what is the change in internal energy of the system and how much work is done. So in this case, how we do that? We know from first law of thermodynamics, Q is equal to U plus W. And what is U? U is the internal energy and W is the work done. Now, value of internal energy is equal to NCV delta T. We take this formula because in case of change in temperature at constant volume, whenever there is a constant volume, we find the internal energy. Now the change in constant volume, Cv it is given here and number of moles is 5 and change in temperature we can easily find it from here. So just put it all the values 5. What is the value of Cv? That is 28 and change in temperature that is 200 minus 100. So overall we have 500 into 28, that means we have 5 8s are 40, 5 2s are 10, 14,000 joule. Okay, in this way we can easily find the internal energy of the system. You can also convert it into kilojoule by dividing it by 1000 and our answer becomes 14 kilojoule. So in this way, when Cv is given, we use the formula of NCV delta T in order to find the internal energy. Now I want to also convey here what is the internal energy. Internal energy is a thermodynamic property. It is a property of thermodynamic system and it depends upon the initial and the final positions and it does not depend upon the path. And when there is no change in temperature, then internal energy is equal to 0. That is at isothermal system, for isothermal system and for cyclic process, change in internal energy is 0. One thing you note that what is change in internal energy? That means, for example, if we have a case of cyclic process, for example, there is a cyclic process, anything which goes from A point, it moves here, here, here and here, A, B, C and D. If anything goes from A to B, B to C, C to D and D to A and again it comes to the position A, then for the cyclic process, change in internal energy is 0. Moreover, if there is no change in temperature, that is if delta T is 0, then also the change in internal energy is 0. And change in internal energy is independent upon path. It depends only upon the initial and final position. One thing more, the unit of internal energy is joule. Now the second question, in each and every question, when I solve the question, I try to also explain the terms and concepts regarding that in between. Okay, now the next portion, next part of this question which we have to solve here, we have to calculate P delta V. We have to calculate work done. P delta V. Clear? Now in the question, there is no volume given and there is no pressure is given. Then how will we calculate P delta V? From ideal gas equation, we know PV is equal to nRT. So we just put the value of nRT in place of P delta V in order to calculate the work done. So we got N delta N R delta T. If there is change in number of moles, then we put here the number of moles and delta T change in temperature. Now there is no change in number of moles, so we write only 3. Value of R is 8 and delta T is 200 minus 100. So we have 2400 and it is work done, that is P delta V, so it is again in joules. In this way, whenever we have to find P delta V and there is no pressure and volume given in the question, you just put in place of P delta V nRT and after that you can find this question. Okay, clear? I think it is clear to you. Now see the question on the blackboard. It is given that 56 gram of iron reacts with HCl. That means iron reacts with HCl in a closed vessel of fixed volume. Now in second case, 56 gram of iron reacts with HCl in an open vessel at 27 degrees Celsius. That means there are two cases. There is a reaction of HCl and iron. Firstly in a closed vessel and secondly in the open vessel. Calculate the work done in both the cases, and in both conditions we have to find the work done, that is in the closed vessel and in the open vessel. And here iron reacts with HCl. Clear? Simply iron reacts with HCl. So when it reacts with HCl in a closed vessel, when the reaction is carried in the closed vessel, always remember delta V is equal to 0. Now when we have to find the work done, it is equal to P delta V, so it ultimately becomes 0. That is, no work is done. Now in case of open vessel, how it goes? Iron reacts with HCl, it forms FeCl2 plus hydrogen gas. Clear? So it is solid, it is aqueous, the solution formed is also aqueous and it is gas. Now as we know P delta V, because no pressure is given, no volume is given, so we just convert it into delta N R delta T. Clear? And N is the number of moles. Now here when we see in number of moles, we just take only the gas state, because number of moles is the degree of freedom it is given. So only hydrogen is a gas, so our number of moles is equal to 1 minus 0, that is equal to 1. This is the value of N. Now delta T, the temperature is given 27 degree Celsius, which is converted into Kelvin, and value of R. Value of R can be taken in the two forms. When you take in the form of calorie, you will take 8.31 and in form of joule, and when you take in form of calorie, you will take the value R is equal to 2. Okay, when you find out the answer in form of calorie. So I am finding work done in form of calorie. So number of moles here is 1. How it is 1? One more thing, it is 56 gram of iron. If the number of moles we have to find, it is equal to 56 gram of iron we have, and molecular of iron is also 56 gram. So it also becomes number of moles is equal to 1. So it is 1. For R we have value 2. Now temperature 27 degrees Celsius. For temperature, just add 27 degrees Celsius with 273 in order to convert into Kelvin, because it is in degrees Celsius and we have to convert it into Kelvin, so we have to add them. So its value is 300. So our answer is 600, because we have taken the value of R2, so answer is written in 600 calorie. Okay, now I am going to take the next concept. Now the question is in this way: an ideal gas expand in volume from 1 into 10 power minus 3 to 1 into 10 power minus 2 meter cube at 300 Kelvin against a pressure of this. Calculate the work done. Now we see that our pressure is 1 into 10 to the power 5, and there is change in volume, that is V1 into 1 into 10 to the power minus 3, and V2 is equal to 1 into 10 to the power minus 2. Clear? All the units are proper, that is Newton per meter square, it is meter cube, it is meter cube. And the temperature here given is 300 Kelvin. And we have to find the work done. So work done is equal to P delta V. So there is no need of using the temperature. So we just follow that guideline. So for the pressure we write 1 into 10 to the power 5, and for volume V2 minus V1, that is 1 into 10 to the power minus 2 minus 1 into 10 to the power minus 3. So solve it. 10 to the power 5. How will you solve? It is 1 over 100 minus 1 over 1000. So we have 10 to the power 5, that is 10 minus 1 over 1000. Minus 2 means 100, minus 3 means 1000. So 10 to the power 5 over 9, this is 10 to the power 3. 1000 means 1 power 3. That means 2 zeros are left. So our answer is, I have written here, 900 joules. When units are in Newton meter, the work done is in joules. So in this way we can find work done if different cases are given. With the help of each and every question, I am trying to explain you. When the analysis when the variables in the question are different, you use the different formulas, and in this way you can solve the work done by the system in different conditions. Now the next question. Now the next question in front of us is 0.5 moles of a gas and X moles of gas B exert pressure of 200 Pascal in a container of volume 10 meter cube at 1000 Kelvin. Find the value of X. कुछ समझ में नहीं आया ना? चलिए फिर से देखते हैं. 0.5 moles of gas A. There are two gases, gas A and gas B, which is in a container. There is a container in which gas A and gas B are present, and this have 0.5 moles and this have X mole. Clear? And the volume of container is 10 meter cube, and the volume of this container is 10 meter cube. It exerts a pressure of 200 Pascal, and this container, this exerts a pressure of 200 Pascal, and temperature is 1000 Kelvin. We have to find the number of moles of X for this case. Now we know PV is equal to nRT. So pressure is 200 Pascal, volume is 10 meter cube. Here we see volume is 10 meter cube. Number of moles. In case of number of moles, you just add both the moles A and B. The 0.5 plus X. 0.5 plus X. Value of R is R, and value of temperature is 1000. Because it is Kelvin, so there is no need to change it. Now we have 2000 here, 1000 here, it get cancelled. So we have 2 is equal to 0.5 plus X into R. Clear? So we have 2 over R is equal to, we can change it, it becomes 1 upon 2 plus X. Okay? So just take it to the another side, and we can easily find the value of X for the gas. So in this way we can solve the different types of questions of thermodynamics. Simply just analyze the question and solve it. So we have 2 over R minus 1 upon 2 is equals to X. So it becomes 2R, and 4 minus R is the number of moles for the gas B. Clear? Now the next question. Enthalpy of iodine at 200 degrees Celsius is 24 calorie per gram. That means at temperature 200 degrees Celsius, enthalpy of iodine is 24 calorie per gram. If the specific heat of iodine its solid phase is 0.055, and specific heat of iodine at vapor stage is 0.031. Clear? Find the enthalpy of sublimation of iodine at 250 degrees Celsius. That reading this question, I am able to resolve. We can easily understand that iodine is converted into another form of vapor state from solid state. In this stage, there are two temperatures at 200 degrees Celsius and at 250 degrees Celsius, and there is a conversion of solid state of iodine into vapor state of iodine. And during this state, we have to find the change in enthalpy. So as we know, change in enthalpy formula for that is NCP delta T. Clear? So this is the change in enthalpy at different temperatures. So we can write it H2 minus H1 is equals to number of moles Cp delta T. Here number of moles is 1, so we could just ignore it. And H1 is the enthalpy at 200 degrees Celsius and H2 is the enthalpy we have to calculate at 250 degrees Celsius. So the value of enthalpy becomes H1 plus, so this is the specific heat and there are two specific heat. At solid state it has different specific heat and at vapor state it has different specific heat. So we find delta Cp and delta T. Clear? So just put all the values. At H1 we have enthalpy is 24 calorie and delta Cp, that means we subtract from gaseous phase to solid phase. So at gaseous state we have in specific heat 0.031 minus 0.055 and for delta T we write 250 minus 200. Now solve this question, you will get easily the answer. It comes, just solve it. I told you, just solve it by your own. The value comes here is minus 12. When you solve this, it comes out to be minus 12. So when you solve, you get 20. 12. Not 12. We get the different value. I am going to solve with you. Now I am here rubbing the blackboard. I think you solved it, but please, I am also solving it. So our answer becomes 0.031 minus 0.055. Clear? So when we subtract this, we have only the plus sign. So we have 4, it is 2, it is 0, it is in minus. So when we multiply it with 50, so we have 0, 5 4s are 22, 5 2s are 10, 11, 12. 3 places, so we have 1.2. So we put it here, 24 minus 1.2. So when we subtract it, we get 8, 2, 2. Just see over here, 24.0, 1.2, that is 8, 2, 2. 22.8 is enthalpy. So its unit is calorie per gram. So in this way you can find the change in enthalpy when there is conversion of solid state to gaseous state. Now this is another type of question. This is the application of the Hess law. Here when the diamond, it is the form of carbon, is burned in the air, it changes into carbon dioxide. Similarly, when the graphite form of carbon is burnt into the air, that is when undergoes the combustion, it converts into carbon dioxide. And in both cases, we have different types of enthalpy. Okay, that means heat evolved during both the cases is this. Now, we have to find the change in enthalpy when graphite converts into the diamond. That means graphite is here and diamond is at this position. So, how we do that? Graphite is here. So, in this equation, our equation is in this way. Okay. Firstly, I want to tell you one concept. If there are two equations, A plus B, it is C. And for example, heat evolved is minus P. Clear? So when we take C to this side, so how does it affect? Then heat evolves becomes P. That is, sign get changed. Similarly, if we have this reaction and if we multiply by weight for a factor, for example with the factor K, that is 2 Kb and this is Kc, then the enthalpy is multiplied with that factor. Clear? So when we make the product as reactant and reactant as product, so the sign get changed. If we multiply with any factor or divide with any factor, the value of enthalpy get multiplied or divided by that factor. This is the base by which we run all the things, by which calculate we all the things. This is a form of Hess law. Now see the question. Here graphite changes into the diamond. When we can see easily graphite is on the left hand side. So in this equation we also have graphite is on the left side, but diamond is on the right side. But our equation is diamond is here, so we have to make it diamond is to that point. So it becomes in this way, C of diamond plus O2. So when we convert it in this way, its enthalpy gets changed and it becomes value 395.3. Clear? So it becomes positive value. So according to Hess law, we just find the total enthalpy by doing the summation. So total enthalpy is equal to H1 plus H2. So for the graphite, enthalpy value is minus 393.4, and for the diamond we have value now 395.3. So now subtract both of them, we get the answer. And this gets subtracted with this one, that is 393.4. 13 minus 4, 9. 4 minus 3, 1. That is 1.9, and it is plus, so we have plus. And its unit is kilojoule per mole. So in this way, we do these types of questions. Now see this question. We have to find the relationship between x, y and z. So we can see easily here that if we add these two, what we will get? C plus half O2 dash CO, and here we have CO plus half O2 dash CO2. So this get cancelled and this becomes C plus O2 dash CO2, which is our first equation. That means we add the values of y and z and we get the answer of x. Okay, so our relationship is x is equal to y plus z. In this way, you can find the different questions. These are all based upon the Hess law. Now see the question on your blackboard. C plus O2 converts into carbon dioxide, and enthalpy, that is energy involved during this reaction, is minus 393.5. Now the second equation, hydrogen plus half of oxygen, it forms water, and heat evolved is minus 285.8. Now next question, carbon dioxide and water gives methane and oxygen, and you have to find the change in enthalpy for the formation of methane. In this way, if we have to find this type of question, just observe one thing. We have CO2 on the right hand side and water molecule on the right hand side. And in CO2 we have number of moles 1 molecule, and in water we have 2. So here we have 1 molecule of carbon dioxide, so this enthalpy remain as it is. But CO2 is on the right hand side, and in this equation we have this on the left hand side. So when we just convert it to the left hand side, it becomes, its enthalpy becomes, I put it as H1, it becomes 393.5. Clear? Now for the water molecule, it is the enthalpy of one water molecule, and we have to put the enthalpy of two molecules, and it is also on the left hand side, and here it is given on the right hand side. So we multiply it by 2 and changing also its sign. It is H2 is equal to 285.8 into 2. Now H3. H3 is this reaction, and methane is on the left side, and we have I think minus 890. No, it is plus 890. So H3 here is 890.3 kilojoule per mole. Clear? So total enthalpy change, that means this when reacts it forms this. So enthalpy change in this way is equal to enthalpy of product minus enthalpy of reactant. So we 890.3 minus, just add both of them. So we have 393.5 and 2 8s are 16, 2 5s are 10, 1 11, 2 8s are 16, 1 17, and 4 1 5. So we have 11, 3 1 4 1 5, 16, 5 3 8 1 9. Clear? So now we have to subtract both of them in order to get the enthalpy change. So now subtract it. We get the value 965.1, 890.3, 11 minus 3, that is 8, this is 4, and this is 7. So our answer is 74.8 kilojoule per mole. So change in enthalpy is equal to enthalpy of product minus enthalpy of reactant. Now the next question which I am going to take is on the topic entropy. As we know that entropy is the degree of randomness, that is degree of possibilities in which the molecules can move in the system. Now there are three cases and we have to find the change in entropy. For entropy we have different formulas. It is denoted by delta S, and entropy is always positive for the system. Formula for entropy is delta H over delta T. From where it comes? As we know from the Gibbs energy theorem, delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. So at the time of equilibrium, when it becomes 0, delta H is equal to T delta S, and from here we have the formula for entropy, delta H over delta T. So this is the first formula when there is a conversion of one state to another, that is from when for example water changes into the ice changes into the water, or water changes into the water vapor. Okay, and next method by which we can find out the change in entropy is by just finding the change in number of moles. We have to calculate the change in number of moles by number of moles of product minus number of moles of reactants, and simply by just observing the sign plus and minus we can say that whether the entropy increases or decreases. When it has minus plus sign, the entropy is increases, and when it has minus sign, the entropy is decreases. And the same concept and same pattern is applied here, and delta H over delta T, that question I will take later after this question. So just I am doing this question on your blackboard. First one is synthesis of ammonia from nitrogen and hydrogen. As we know the reactions, nitrogen reacts with hydrogen, it forms ammonia. Clear? Now we balance it, so it is 2 and it is 3. Clear? Now we have to find the number of moles, because all of them in gas, so we take only the gaseous state for finding the number of moles. So here the product is 2 moles and here 3 plus 1, that is 4 moles. So we get the value is negative. So as the value is negative, so our entropy here is negative. Clear? Now the next case, dissociation of calcium sulfate into calcium oxide and sulfite gas. Now the next equation, you see how the entropy change occurs. So we just uh, take the difference of the number of moles forming during product and reactant. If it is positive, then entropy change is positive, and if it is negative, then there is a decrease in the entropy. Now the second case, CaSO4, it converts into CaO plus sulfite. Okay, now try to balance it. This is 4 and this is 3 plus 1, 4. We have the same, so there is no need. So when we take out the entropy delta N, we have 1 plus 1, that is 2 minus 1, and because it is here number of 1, it is 1 and it is 1. So we have change in number of moles is positive 1, so here entropy is positive. In this case entropy is positive, that is entropy get increased. Now the third case, iodine in the solid state changes into iodine at vapor state, gaseous state or vapor state. Here the number of moles are same, so delta N is equal to 0. But when there is a change in state, that is solid to gas, so when the same element is there and it goes from solid to gas, in gas we have different maximum type of possibilities of degree of randomness. That is, the degree of randomness in case of gas is more than degree of randomness in case of solids. So in this case entropy is also positive. So in this way we can solve the different cases in which we have to find the change in entropy, whether it increase or decrease. So whenever we got the minus entropy, so only in that case entropy get decreased. Okay, and in all other cases entropy increased. Whenever there is a change, increment in the entropy, then it is a spontaneous process, and the Gibbs free energy we got is negative. Clear? And we have, if we have got the entropy in minus, then it is a non-spontaneous process. Now the next question of entropy I am also going to take, in which we have to find with the temperature and enthalpy. As I told you earlier, I am going to take the another question in which we use the Gibbs-Helmholtz energy equation, and the question is based on that concept. The process is carried out in which change in enthalpy is 200 joule per mole, and if the temperature is 5 Kelvin and the process is spontaneous. When there is an equation, it is written as process is spontaneous. If is in the equation, question is written that Gibbs free energy, the reaction is reversible, then in that case take the value of Gibbs free energy is equal to 0. And from the equation we have delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S, and it becomes 0, so delta H becomes T delta S. So from that we can find out change in entropy very easily, delta H over delta T. So here our value is 200 over 5 and we got 40, and that is joule per mole per Kelvin. This is the unit of entropy. Now the next question I am going to take about entropy. Now I have taken another question in order to explain you how will you calculate the change in entropy when there is a case that we have 1 kilogram of ice, it converts into liquid, then that liquid converts into water vapor, that is it converts into liquid state at the boiling water, that is when there is a change in temperature. So as we know, when the ice get changed from solid state to water state, that is when it melts, the temperature remains same. Okay, now when we boil that liquid to this temperature at boiling point, temperature at 100 degrees Celsius, and it becomes 373 Kelvin. So for whole process, if we have to calculate change in entropy, then how will we calculate? So here I have taken the first process as change in entropy as S1, and for the second process change in entropy as S2. In this first step, there is a conversion of change in state, that is solid ice get converted into liquid, into water, and here the water changes its temperature from 0 degree to 100 degree, that it gets boiled. Then if we have to calculate what is the entropy in each case, and if we have to calculate total entropy change, then how will we do that? So when there is change in state, clear, our formula for entropy becomes delta H over delta T. Clear? So in this case, change in enthalpy is 334 and our temperature is what? It is 273 Kelvin. Let's solve it and find out the answer. Our answer comes out to be, it is, when we divide it, it is found out to be 1.22. Clear? So this is our entropy S1. So when there is a conversion of change of state, we use the formula of delta H over delta T. That is the temperature at which this fusion takes place. That is the fusion of ice into the water. Now in the second case, when there is change in temperature, the formula of entropy becomes specific heat of water into log of T2 over T2. Write down the formula. When there is a change in temperature, then we can calculate the value of entropy in this way. Okay, that is change in temperature. That is the final temperature over the initial temperature. What is Cp? Cp is the specific heat at constant pressure, and for the water its value is 4.2 as we know. So we write it 4.2 log of 373 over 273. So when we solve it, log of this, we can write it in this way. Just note it down. It is our S1. So for S2, we write it as in this way, 4.2 into log of 373 over 273. So when we change it, when we have to solve it in the numerical, we multiply it with 2.303 and log of 373 minus log of 273. Now it is given in here, we have different values. So put all the values in the equation and just solve it. Here we just add up the, subtract these two. 2.572 minus 2.436. So we have 633,531 and it is 0. Now when we multiply this, we get the value. Just calculate, and ultimately you got the value for entropy in the second case is equal to, it is equal to 1.31. That is equal to 1.31 kilojoule per mole per Kelvin. Clear? Now if we have to find a total entropy change, then we have to add both of them. In this way, when there is a conversion from one state to another, you use the formula delta H upon delta T. But when there is change in temperature, you use the formula Cp log T2 over T1. Okay. So net entropy change here we have, net entropy change is S1 plus S2. So we have 1.31 plus 1.22. So we have 3, 5 and 2.53. So this is the total entropy change in this question.